Here is the late 1970s Luxaire 10-ton commercial air conditioner that I showed in another video where the belt was too loose to move enough air properly, and how I fixed it. I also stated in that video that it was a 4-ton air conditioner, but it's actually 10-ton. It has two 5-ton condensers tied into it outside. Then it has an air handler, it just has a fan and a cooling coil on the bottom. And then there's electric heat strips in the plenum. There's 2 more on the other side of the plenum, so technically there's 4 of them. But it's very old and it's very inefficient. It doesn't really have a lot of space that it needs to cool. The only reason I could think they put in a 10-ton commercial air conditioner was so that they could cool the commercial kitchen that has vents going into it. But we have no intentions on cooling the kitchen because, number one, it doesn't do it anymore. Number two, it's a waste of energy with the exhaust hood. But anyway, the compressors are not working very good either. We've tried running it on 5 tons of cooling power, and that's what it should be running on. And the air coming out of the air handler is only about 68 degrees, with 75 degrees coming in, which is not very good cold air coming out of the unit. The air coming out of it should be about 62. But in order to get it down to that temperature, we have to turn the other 5-ton condenser on. If they were working properly, then the air would be much colder. On the other hand, the electric heat strips are no longer working. They're not very warm. We had a lot of trouble heating this past winter, and the electric bill was pretty high. As you can see, the breaker says turn on for extra heat, and we have it on. Still not a lot of heat coming out of it during that time. And there's also a good amount of mold in the cabinet. I'll go ahead and grab some. You can see how it's very moldy in my hand. I'll have to wash my hands after this video. And go ahead and start it up. You can also see how loud it is, and you can hear that pretty much from the other side of the restaurant. So it's definitely going to have to be replaced. Since we're going to probably go ahead and permanently seal off the kitchen, we'll downsize the system down to a 5-ton, and it'll most likely be a Rheem 80% efficient propane fired furnace, 5-ton air conditioner and cooling coil, and have a flex gas line running in here. We'll just tap it off the water heater gas input. The gas line is big enough to take on another 200,000 BTUs, I believe, and we'll run a flue pipe up through that vent right there. No, it will not be used as a flue pipe. We'll run another flue pipe through the vent. So I guess we'll end up doing that through the winter time. It's still running on 10 tons, it's still working, but the electric bill is still very high. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the condensers now. Here are the 2 outside condensers tied into the Luxaire unit inside. They're 2 5-ton condensers. They're not the original condensers that were installed with the Luxaire unit back in '76. Each unit was replaced at separate times, but they're definitely on their last legs. Here is the newer one out of the 2. This one is a Grand Air. This one, I believe, was installed somewhere in between 94 and 95 according to the data plate. You can tell that the fan motor's pretty rusted out. Paint's coming off. Inside, it's got some rust going to the pipes on the condenser. Excuse all the background noises. Filter dryer is worn out. Still turns on. Compressor doesn't work as good as it used to. Anyway, I'll go ahead and give you show you what it sounds like starting up. Let's leave that on. Here's the older one out of the 2. This one is a Pain unit. Not sure how well you can see the logo. But this one is manufactured in '88, so I'm assuming that it was installed around that time, but it's in pretty bad shape. Got the coils here, they're rusting out, and this is rusted. Pretty sure that this may fall through pretty soon. Top of it still works to some extent. Same situation. I'll walk around and turn that one on. Filter dryer. I'll just leave it on. 1988 Payne air conditioner, the 1994 Grand Air air conditioner.